So Meoni, how was Fanfest 2023? Oh my god, where to begin?
Hello and welcome to Fanfest 2023.
Spanning 2 days then, this event brought out, highlighted and celebrated the most important thing about Final Fantasy XIV, and that's of course the community, without which this game would not be where it is today, and of course the last 10 plus years probably wouldn't have happened the way they did without them. Seeing people from all different walks of life and different corners of the globe come together, meet many of them for the first time, making memories that they will never forget for as long as they live, and experiencing what was probably one of the most impressive experiences at a convention I have ever seen and probably ever will see. And then there were the reveals.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enjoying yourself for a change? Hi guys! Thank you for coming today! 言ったんですけど、どうしてもやれと。
So now I just turned 50 years old this year, and I'm getting a little old for cosplay, but the dev team wouldn't take no for an answer, so... Alright, so the first of our 2 new jobs being released with Dawn Trail is the dual-wielding melee DPS Viper.
Personal highlights for me, other than obviously the announcements of the new job being fantastic, but also seeing Sakaguchi, Hironobu Sakaguchi, the father of Final Fantasy, on stage alongside Naoki Yoshida, the producer and director for Final Fantasy XIV. This was a kind of like a personal victory in my book, seeing these 2 giants together. It was lovely to see, and they were so complimentary of each other, as you probably saw on the live stream as well. Of course, it's always a massive pleasure of mine to see all of the members of the dev team that we've seen before at events or during broadcasts, like the live letters such as Masayoshi Soken and various other people, Foxclon and you know, Koji Fox, absolute wonderful people. But we also saw some people that we had never seen before, or at least I'd never seen on stage, and that was courtesy of the dev panel. One of the most impressive pieces of presentation I've ever seen in my life for any game, let alone an MMORPG. They somehow explained some of the most complex texture resolution and importation details in the most straightforward way I've ever heard. To the same point, it was still complicated, but easy enough that anybody could understand. Now I know more about Dover and Iceland being in the game and feet pictures and processing in Photoshop than I ever thought I would know just by witnessing that. It was really well put together, and they really need a round of applause for the presentation of this entire event. It was bloody phenomenal, quite honestly, and puts a lot of other events to shame. So massive shout out to the team behind this. Square Enix also upgraded my ticket that I purchased through the lottery system. I got quite lucky through the lottery, like a lot of other people, and they upgraded my ticket so I was able to attend the press conference and other media areas. So thank you, Square Enix, for that. That really opened figuratively and literally doors to many opportunities. I was able to attend a press conference, got a question answered, which was awesome, and I even got to strike this fantastic pose with the man himself, to which he held out the Viper blade and said, "This is for you to hold now," in a very ominous and deep voice, to which I nearly cracked up laughing, and we stroked this amazing pose. I'll never forget this for as long as I live. It was honestly one of the best experiences of my life. And to really encapsulate an event like this even better, a lot more planning has gone into the design and thematic layout of the area itself. Split into 20 separate sections, the floor plan looked like this. There was everything from themed areas such as Thanalan and Lenosha, to the Gold Saucer, to meet and greet sections, an art and video contest gallery, lots of mini games, seating areas, all very well labeled, all very meticulously planned, and it was just wonderful to see. They did a fantastic job behind the scenes, and it has to be said, it really did add to the experience, not only of what was on the stage, but making it well worth coming in person to walk around. It was actually really refreshing to see an event planned like this, and I'm very happy that I could have attended. Briefly, it's worth mentioning the Battle Challenge. We had a mixed experience with the Battle Challenge, mostly due to the fact that when we came to play on the Alienware computers, we had various graphical issues and indeed crashes during the event, simply because I think they were overheating through, the constant use throughout the day. There was a lot of people queuing up and taking part in it. It's only going to happen, so I can't really blame anybody for that. The battle itself was fairly good. It wasn't particularly difficult, so I can't wait to try that in the game itself when it eventually comes out. And for some reason, my brain is thinking it might be in the Hildebrand content. I don't know why. It probably isn't. That's my hunch. I have no idea otherwise to that. There were no other visual clues to really stand out other than it was Final Fantasy VI themed music, so I guess it could be Hildebrand. I have no idea. A good reflection of how many Warriors of Light are in Europe then, or at least as many as could attend through the lottery system and extremely limited ticket quantities, would be the signing board. This is always a great opportunity to sign your name if you can find a space, which this was early on day one, this footage, so as you can see, it was absolutely plastered with people's names. It got absolutely covered by the end of day two. It was lovely to meet a lot of people, and I think a lot of people were trying to express their goodwill and wishes of hope on this board, especially after the last few years of not being able to attend events like this in person. So it was a good reflection, so I thought I'd include a little bit of footage of that there. Always a great part of a community aspect. As far as I know, there were maybe 3 else 4 photo opportunities, like G-pose locations, one of which you could stand there and hold a weapon, like these beautiful remakes. Actually, they were like resin of weapons from the game. And we took this very cringy picture here with my friends and my girlfriend. And yeah, basically it was just a good time. There was lots of people just enjoying it. And then there were the mini games, which got rather competitive, and I was bloody awful at all of them. Everything you can imagine, from rolling a massive parasite that's no longer attached to a dead rat, from the selfie bowling down the bowling alley against inflatable pins that just won't knock over, to axe throwing, which I was surprisingly not too bad at. I scored higher than my friends, so that's at least that's something. And then we had the magnet fishing, where you had these extended poles with a line you couldn't reel, with a magnet on the end, and you had these little fish on the floor with magnets built into their, like, I don't know, it's like plexi cardboard or something, or perspex, and you had to pick as many up as possible. Unfortunately, I was more preoccupied with slapping my friend in the face with a fish, and also a rather awkward moment when I reeled out too far and accidentally snagged someone's zipper on their goodie bag and had to pull away very quickly and pretend I did nothing as they turned around very suspiciously, but none the wiser the fact that somebody accidentally attempted to open their zipper with a magnet. So yeah, it didn't go too well, and I was banned from the fishing momentarily afterwards, my self-ban, and we moved on. There was all sorts of minigames, everything from chocobo racing, where you threw balls into holes to progress the chocobo across the screen, which was a lot of fun. That was in the gold saucer section, to sand thing, where you had to basically keep digging. It was like a mining minigame where you had to find these gemstones and amongst this sand, and then it was weighed at the end of it to see if you had won or not, based on how much of the gemstones you'd managed to acquire, or if you got any coal. There was all sorts of things. They really put on one heck of a show, and it was just really fun to mingle amongst all of the different members of Square Enix. A lot of people that we met there said they were volunteering from other positions within Square Enix's team, from anything from data analysts to people who work on the community team to people who work on website design. It was lovely to meet people and talk to them. You know, that was the thing I took away from this the most, is it was just nice to mix with people. And I think that's, you know, the biggest thing to take away from an event like this, is just meeting, chatting, experiencing, and retelling all of the stories that we, you know from Final Fantasy XIV. A lot of the people that I met, we talked to in the game now, right, that are on the EU side, that previously I had no idea were on the same server in many cases. So it was lovely. It was really nice. In terms of the concerts, whilst we're not able to share footage of that, because obviously we were not able to film that because of copyright constraints, and of course it's not being broadcast officially, so we can't rebroadcast any of that either, of which I completely adhere to. It was a absolute treat both nights. The piano concert with Keiko and Masayoshi Soken was brilliant, with the usual hijinks as you would imagine if you've seen those before, with the automaton, and of course Soken being absolutely incredible and adorable, and Keiko being just genuinely amazing at what she does. And of course the Primals the following night, which was full of surprises, of which you've probably heard. Husky by the Geek and Alex Mukalo were on stage alongside the Primals. It was fantastic. It was lovely to see creators fulfilling their dreams and getting to be, shoulder to shoulder with their heroes. It was lovely to see. I will say the only criticism I will have is in terms of accessibility and green wristbands. It would have been nice if we could get the people with those wristbands seated and comfortable prior to opening the barricades to general public. I think that could have been handled a little bit better. Again, it is minor and it could be improved on in the future. There is always room for improvement, and I think that's fairly valid to mention. But both of the nights were fantastic and were definitely, if you'd go for nothing else, worth the ticket price alone. Of course, there was plenty of merch on offer, and you could see a lot of it in these cabinets or on mannequins. A lot of it was really, really cool, but a lot of it, once again, you could purchase on the online store prior to this. They've done a really good job with the Fanfest merch, I personally think, especially considering you could buy all of this prior to Fanfest and wear it for the Fanfest. The only exclusives that I know of were maybe a couple of badges and the glow sticks, right? The glow sticks basically sold out within 5 minutes of the merch store being open. I remember there were queues to queue up for the merch, and you were essentially given a ticket if you came later than a certain point. This was right as it opened. to come back later, essentially. And they did run out of stock very quickly. It's a testament to how good all of the stuff is, but it really, really ran out of stock very quickly. But yeah, there was such lovely items. I think the merch has come on a long way since A Realm Reborn. There are some really tasty items. There are a lot of very expensive tasty items too. And you could argue the best piece of merch was actually included in the ticket price all along, which of course is the beautiful canvas bag. It's, well, fabric bag with a nice zip on it, multiple zips. Very reusable, came with some great merch inside, the squapes, the Laporit pen. The merch was really good that you got given in the ticket price this time around. I much prefer this than the 2018 Fanfest Paris bag, which was a lot lower quality than this. This is a really nice item, so I'm really glad that I could get this, and I think a lot of people were very happy as well with this.
That has got to be the most cringy thing you could.
So in my summary, Fanfest 2023 in London was a massive success, and I have to thank Square Enix for not only upgrading my ticket and including me in all of the various other bits and pieces that influencers and press get to involve themselves in, but also for putting on such a fantastic and successful event. And it really was long overdue for England to be included in something as fantastic as this. I know we had cancellations during, the past couple of years, but it really made up for it. And this has been in the planning for a very long time. It was lovely to meet everybody I did meet, and people that I didn't get to meet. Hopefully I can meet you at future events, much like this. Although this is going to be very hard, like I say, to top. I had an incredible experience, met some lovely people. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm repeating myself at this point, but it was truly worthwhile in every single way. And I hope people enjoyed my coverage of Fanfest and the various videos that I put out. I waited to put this video out until I had a voice again. Unfortunately, I got the convention flu. Nothing more serious than that, thankfully. But it's only just recently that I got rid of the majority of my cough. It was very hard to string sentences together for long periods of time. So I appreciate your patience, and I hope this was worth it. So much love. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully I can be invited or get access to future events and bring you as much as I have here. It is still a learning process. I am not very good at the vlogging side of things, but I am always willing to learn. Thank you so much as ever, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
The wrong car, the fat cat, or the Star
Well, I know which one we're not getting. Number 20. Oh, there's no Namazu representation. Square Enix. I am disappointed. We need more Namazu representation.